What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Prospect Recap. I'm your host, James Ivy Williams, founder and CEO of Between the Lines Sports. And today I have a few of my analysts with me. I will let them introduce themselves, and then we'll jump right into this week's episode. Starting to my left, Shane, it's on you.
I'm Shane Calise. I'm a scout for the Northeast region.
Next up, Jamil.
My name is Jamil Mendoza, scout and analyst from the Southeast region.
Michael.
My name is Michael Hale, scout for the West region.
And Aaron.
Hello, I'm Aaron Lord, regional scout for the DMV area and also a video coordinator here at BTL.
All right, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown of who we're covering today, and then we'll jump right in. I was starting from the lowest ranked all the way up to the highest ranked. So at number 57, we have Azoulas Tubelis from the University of Arizona. At number 43, we have Marcus Sasser from the University of Houston. At number 34, we have Ricky Council IV from the University of Arkansas. At number 16, we have Jett Howard from the University of Michigan. And at number 5, we have Asar Thompson from Overtime Elite City Reapers. So we're going to start from the lowest ranked, which is Azoulas. And Michael, it's on you.
So Azoulas Tubelis is a 6'11" forward center out of the University of Arizona, left-handed, leads the Pac-12 in transition scoring. He scores well in the post, has very good footwork. Defensively, I think he can guard. I think he has the capability to stay in front of guys. He's got offensively, he's got the quickness to take a 5 off the dribble. And he also has the shooting capabilities to pop and shoot. He's a very capable passer. He could pass the ball pretty well. He doesn't average the most assists. I think he averages like 1 or 2 a game. But
a lot is discussed about him as far as leading the Pac-12 in transition points. How is he getting these points? Is he filling the lane? Is he rebounding and pushing himself? Tell me about that aspect, because that's especially at the next level in the NBA. We know transition points are so important because a lot of teams want to try to score without the defense being set. So how is he getting these transition points?
Yeah, so a lot of it has to do with Arizona's offense. Arizona loves to run. So what happens is like he'll get the rebound and he'll try to push right away. So he'll catch a rebound, try to push right away, and he'll probably take that first dribble. And after that first dribble, look to pitch ahead. And or without even taking the first dribble, he'll just pitch ahead. And once he pitches ahead, if he runs the floor, and he runs the floor really, really well. And he also shows like the want to run the floor. He'll either get his transition points that way. They got to take long threes. Long threes lead to long rebounds. Therefore, he gets to leak out more. So he takes advantage of this opportunity, especially having Bio in the game, to rebound the ball. They're both 1 and 2 in the league in rebounding in the Pac-12. It leads to easy transition buckets for him.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And he's a high motor guy too. So his ability to, like you said, play with the motor, run the floor. He has good hands. All those things I think are transferable if you're going to be a big on the court. And so he has to be able to do that. So I definitely agree with you.
He's got good touch around the rim. He's got good size. The game that I actually did scout against UCLA, he was missing a lot of easy ones early on. And I'm like, does he not have good touch around the rim? Like, one of my notes was like, he doesn't have good touch. Mm-hmm. And then just watching him in the second half, I'm like, okay, no, he's just missing easy shots. Like, he had a few finishes that I thought he was kind of looking for the foul rather than just going up through contact. Mm-hmm. But he, in the second half, kind of fixed that, shot the ball a lot better around the rim.
All right, cool. Good stuff. Moving on, we're going to number 43, Marcus Sasser. Aaron, it's on you.
Marcus Sasser, he's a fourth-year guard at the University of Houston. He's 6'1". He was a prospect last year in the draft. He attended the G League Combine. He did very well there, got an invite to the actual NBA Combine, where he continued to impress scouts. His draft range wasn't where he wanted it, so he decided to return to school. His most immediately translatable skill is his shooting. He's a career 37% three-point shooter. He's shooting 38%, I believe, this year from 3. He's 92nd in catch and shoot percentile, and he's really added a good arsenal of moves. He has a really good sidestep and step back, which has allowed him to become more of a threat on the ball. I think that's what NBA teams wanted to see last year, as him be more of a point guard, because that's the role he'll have to play in the league or at the next level. At U of H, he doesn't really have to do that because they have such a good floor general already. So he's primarily just tasked with just scoring the ball, but he has improved his assists and lowered his turnovers this year. And I think that's pretty big because he's seen a lot more attention compared to previous years. Now he's the focus of every game plan. So he's really done a good job of keeping his scoring average just about the same while improving his percentages and also lowering his turnovers and increasing his assists. He's also gotten better finishing at the rim. He's 77th percentile at the rim, and he has really good footwork getting into his layups, timing, throwing off defenders with the timing, doing one big slow step and then another quick one as he'll, get by defenders and things like that. And then he's also very strong at the point of attack. That's another hallmark of Kelvin Sampson's coaching system, is just being strong defenders. That's something that got him on the floor his freshman year, and he was able to be a starter on a Final Four team, just purely because he was very strong at the point of attack on the ball. He's not necessarily the best athlete. He's not a high leaper or extremely quick or anything, but he just has that coachability and does those little things well. He's another one of those players that we talk about who's had to learn and grow into a role and then, take a role. And I think he's done a really good job of that this year, being a leader on, the number one team in the country.
First, the thing that hit the most was that slow to fast step that he does. I saw there was a highlight of it recently, and it was just it looks so unorthodox that you almost think it's a travel, but
yeah,
it was that long that hopping Euro. He has a lot of that kind of stuff to his bag, which is the craftiness about him that I like about him. On top of that, like you said, the ability to shoot from three, 37% 3-point shooter, which is pretty much just solid. It's what you want. I mean, and that thing is, and the fact that he's up a percentage overall for the year means he's trending upward, which means we can project that hopefully that percentage will improve or stay the same at the next level. Obviously, there's spacing. There's more things going on the NBA court. Obviously, bigger, longer, more athletic guys, things like that. But overall, the ability to just be a consistent 3-point shooter is something that's going to be valuable. And like you said, coming from a Kelvin Sampson system, you're going to play defense. Kelvin Sampson programs, you typically get guys that can freaking guard. And he can guard. And that's the best thing about it. I was at the G League Combine last year and I saw him play. He was pretty much coming off the injury where he hadn't really played the majority of the year. And I think that was part of the issue too. That was the issue that a lot of people were saying, if he had been healthy the entire season, that projection that was a late second, more or less, probably would have been a late first. And so I think he's definitely improved his stock. Obviously, we have him at 43 right now.
I personally think that's a little bit low. But
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things I think it'll rise. It's our second mock. It'll improve for sure. But it's one of those things that you can see the trend. He's trending in the right direction at the right time. Moving on, Ricky Council IV from the University of Arkansas. That is on me as my scout, and so I will jump right in. Council 6'6", wing / forward / guard from the University of Arkansas. Counting stats are 16.6 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 1.2 steals. He's shooting 45.7% from the field, 27.9% from three, and 79.3% from the free throw line. There's some stuff to like about Ricky Council. We talked about him on some of our calls recently. The first thing that I noticed about him, he's a big dude. I mean, I saw him in person when they played against the University of South Carolina a few weeks ago, and he's big. It's hard to explain, but he looks big on the court. And honestly, getting close to him on the court doing warm-ups, you can really see physically he's a big dude, broad chest, broad shoulders, long arms. We've seen some of the athletic plays he's made, so he's an athletic guy. But just a big physical guy at 6'6". Likes to get out in transition, uses athleticism to finish well in and around the lane, can create for himself off the dribble in the mid-range. He's got some wiggle to him, actually. Some nice little combo dribbles, gets guys off balance, and he's a rhythm shooter. So for me, when he gets his rhythm going, it's like getting guys off balance with the handle, a little bop to him, and he pulls up and he knocks down mid-range jumpers. Really good on-ball defender, uses his athleticism very well, uses his length very well, has good lateral quickness left and right, and has really quick hands, really strong hands, really quick hands. So to get on ball steals, I think he's one of the better on ball defenders in this draft class as well. Like we had several of those. Anthony Black on his team is obviously a really good on ball defender. Payson Wallace is another good on-ball defender. The Thompson twins are good on-ball defenders. He's in that class to me because his length and athleticism, along with his strength, allows him to be. He can actually create for teammates off the dribble too. He actually draws attention when he gets into the lane, and he makes the right read. But he just makes the right pass. If two guys come to him, he finds the open guy, and so he's a willing passer, which are things that you like and you want to see from a guy who may not get a lot of attention, but can definitely draw attention by driving to the basket, driving to the rim. A couple of things for me that he needs to work on, obviously. One is his three-point shooting. I mean, shooting at 27.9% from three. It's a really low percentage, but the good thing that we've seen, one is that he can actually make a mid-range jumper, and he's a really good free throw shooter at pretty much 80% from the free throw line. So I have the opinion that he probably will improve and can extend his shot out to the three-point line if with more reps focus on that aspect of his game. And the next thing for me, I think that is surprising is that he's only averaging 3.5 rebounds for a big, strong, athletic guy. I hate to say it, but like little guards can go pull 3 rebounds in a game. And so for me, I'm not sure what that is. It could be because he is trying to leak out for those athletic, transition dunks that he's getting a lot of. But at the same time, I would love to see him be a little bit more aggressive as a rebounder, go mix it up because he's physically strong and athletic, long arms. I think that number should be doubled for me, in my opinion. I think if that number was doubled, I think it would be honestly, I think it's something that he could easily be a first round guy if his rebounding numbers were up. And I think 3-point shooting will come, but it's just one of those things. I think the more attention he plays to the little things, rebounding, because again, but I think those little adjustments could, I think, push him over the edge and make him and help him get to that first round. He's right on the cusp of that right now. All right, moving on. We've got Jett Howard at number 16. Shane, that's you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Jett Howard's counting stats are 14.5 points a game, 2.7 rebounds, 2.1 assists. And so when I watch him, like his fluidity as a scorer stands out. Like when he's run off the line, he has runners, he has pull-ups, he has fadeaways. He has a lot in his bag in his in-between game. He can shoot, catch and shoot threes off the dribble. He's good at like pump faking, getting guys in the air. So he's just pretty advanced for his age off the dribble. And then when you combine that with his ability to catch and shoot, which has been pretty elite this year, I'm really intrigued by his potential as a scorer because usually guys at his age have either or. They're either elite catch and shoot shooters that may not be as good off the dribble, attacking closeouts, etc., or they're good self-creators who've never really played in a system where they have to catch and shoot, etc. I feel like he's already pretty good for his age in both areas, and we'll see what his measurements are at the combine, but he looked like a true wing to me when I saw him up close. Like he was eye to eye with the Pittsburgh center. So I liked his size, his offensive capabilities, and his passing off the move was really impressive too. Like you could see he handled the ball a lot in high school. You could kind of see it when has to make plays, like what I would say, like off script, under duress. He makes the right decisions, looks guys off, even when he knows where he's going to go with the ball the whole time. So I kind of like, at worst, his ceiling as an off-ball player, playing off stars at the next level, playing in the system. And I'm also a believer that his self-creation kind of takes him up a tier because he can play off and on the ball, in my opinion, because he makes good decisions offensively. Some weaknesses, I would say, are defense. A lot of fouls and poor situational awareness. Like the game I went to, for example, he picked up his third foul like 2 minutes into the second half, fouling a shot that he had no chance of contesting. And then the very next play, he picked up another poor foul. Also, the rebounding, 2.7 rebounds for a guy his size is pretty underwhelming, especially considering how close he is to the basket on a lot of the times, like when he switched off. Like there's opportunities for him to get at least 4 rebounds a game. So 2.7 rebounds a game defensively. He has a lot of undisciplined moments, and I would say that's probably his weakest area. But because of his size, because I guess it's cliche, but because he's the son of a coach, I think if he cleans up the fundamental stuff and with his size, you can live with a wing being your worst defender if he's not guarding other wings. Like, for example, say you're playing the Celtics and he's guarding, like, you could put him on a Grant Williams and be fine. Put him on a stationary shooter and be fine. Like, it's not as much of a red flag to me as it will be a guard because of his size.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think the thing that is odd is the fact that Juwan Howard is, a stickler for defense, and then his son is, of all the players, one of the weaker defenders. That's probably the most odd thing outside of the rebounding, obviously. I think that's one of the things, but I do believe that his game fits where he is right now. I think he's going to get even better with more space, better passes, better players around him. I think he's one of those guys that's probably more conditioned to play at the next level than some of the other guys in college because he's been around it so long. I think he just kind of gets it. And I do believe that he'll fit in a little bit more, and he'll be more adept to playing that style of basketball because the space and pace that they play will fit him for sure. So it's just like you said, rebound the ball. That's just effort. Both of the things that he's lacking are things that he has 100% control over, which is defensive rebounds. He can pursue more rebounds, and he can try harder on defense. And so I think if he makes those decisions to do so, and the thing is this on the other side, in the NBA, while you can be as talented as you want to be, if you don't do those things that they need you to do, you won't be in the league long.
You won't play.
So that's the thing. So he'll have to decide. College, you're there for a year, cool, no harm, no foul. But if you're in the league and you're not rebounding and you're not defending, they're gonna ship you out as soon as they can. And so it'll be something he'll have to decide if he wants to do for sure. All right, moving on. Last but not least, we have Asar Thompson, the number 5 prospect on our mock draft from Overtime Elite via the City Reapers. Jamil, it is on you.
All right, Asar Thompson, forward/guard, 6'7", around 210. He's 20 years old. Currently, he's averaging 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.5 steals per game, also a block per game. I'm going to focus on his strengths first. I think the first thing that impresses me is his defense intensity, his ability to play full court, press the defender, also great help defender at the rim and also at the perimeter. It helps a lot this year that he's playing with his brother because they both play with that same intensity, and I believe that's definitely his strong suit. He's able to get steals, get in transition. He is a fast-paced player. He likes to play in transition. I think that's the perfect system for him. Other than that, got the athleticism to protect the rim. I see him block centers. I see him stay on guards, chase down blocks on guards. So I think defense wouldn't be an issue. Offensively, he's a great passer. He can pass in the pick and roll. Good transition passer. I see him do a full-court pass before. He very diverse. When it goes to scoring-wise, very aggressive getting to the paint. Of course, shooting is their main weakness. Other than that, like I said, the only weakness is the shooting. Free throw shooting is a big problem. Very diverse offense, defense, playmaking, guard the perimeter, protect you in the rim, great health defense, transition players. He could do everything.
Asar's ability to shoot does separate him from his brother, and I think Asar has taken a higher leap forward in the shot making ability over the course of this season, even though they both are still subpar shooters overall. Their pluses outweigh their cons for sure. Their pros outweigh their cons. I mean, it's just uber athletic, can handle, can rebound, can pass, can defend, finish in the lane, finish over the top of you.
I feel like comparing the two is like one would be more Scotty, one would be more Grant. But yeah, I just when I watch them play in person, I think Asar is he's the trash talker. He's the one to get in your head. I think that what stands out is just Asar's defense, his defense intensity, vocally, physically. I just feel like he takes pride in being a defender, and he is a back-to-back MVP for Overtime Elite. Him and his brother stats are similar, but I think what makes him the MVP for the most part is, one, his ability to shoot, and as well as he helps his brother and he helps his other team as well. Since he's the forward, he's usually helping at the rim. He's leaking in transition. He's literally everywhere on a court. A very talented player, and like I said, just his intensity he brings intensity for all his other teammates. Yeah.
All right, to recap, at number 57, Azoulas Tubelis from the University of Arizona. At number 57, at number 43, we have Marcus Sassers from the University of Houston. At number 34, we had Ricky Council, the fourth from the University of Arkansas. At number 16, we had Jett Howard from University of Michigan. And at number 5, we have Asar Thompson from Overtime Elite. As always, this is my favorite part of the week where we get to kind of recap some of the guys from our mock draft and who we've seen. And so I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time. And yeah, that's it. We're done. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Prospect Recap. Stay tuned for more content just like this. We've got more player highlight videos coming, more mock draft videos coming, podcasts coming. So just stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BTL Hoops. Visit the website at www.btlhoops.org. And until next time, talk to you guys soon.